Hey everybody, Nick here from Nick's Taxes, and today I think I have a really important video that I believe everyone should watch. And I know the title seems a little bit far-fetched, but just bear with me. Trust me, if you watch till the end of the video, I promise this will all make sense. Now, this is a topic in finance that I believe that everyone should learn, and something that I wish that we had the opportunity to learn in high school, but I was never told about this. And I think it's really important that we all understand the opportunity that lies ahead of us in the power of investing early. Now, investing now is something that's really important, as waiting an extra year could cost you potentially thousands of dollars. And the secret here to becoming a millionaire by the time you're ready to retire is through this account, in which we call a tax-free savings account, or otherwise known as a TFSA. If you're watching this in the US, the tool that we would be using is called a Roth IRA. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to stick with Canadian content and focus on the tax-free savings account. But in the US, the same concepts apply. So a tax-free savings account here in Canada is an account that you can open once you turn 18 years of age or older and are a Canadian resident. The nice thing about a TFSA is that the amount of money that you're contributing into the account is after tax money, which means that you've already paid taxes on the money in which you're about to contribute. The best way to kind of look at it is if you have some sort of job and you get your paycheck, you'll see that some taxes have been withheld from your paycheck, and what you're left over with and what gets deposited into your bank account is known as after tax money. And so the money that you use to invest into the TFSA, any type of gain that you receive within this account will be completely tax-free. Now, normally when you invest in something and that investment grows, it's called capital gain, and the capital gains in which you receive are taxed. But within this account in Canada, everything that you earn as a capital gain is tax-free. So let's say even if you have $1,000 and you put it into this account and it grows to $10,000, that gain would normally be taxed outside of a TFSA, but within that TFSA, it's all tax-free and it's all yours because you've already paid taxes on that initial investment. Now, there is a contribution limit of up to $6,000 per year, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit, but those are the basic rules of the TFSA. Now, it's important to note that the TFSA is just an account. Just like when you have your own bank account, you might have a checkings account, you might have a savings account. A TFSA is just another one of those accounts, and what you choose to do with it differentiates it from a checking account. Now, you can just have a TFSA as a cash account and just put cash into it, or you can choose to make investments within that account, invest in the stock market, invest in mutual funds, whatever. It's just the account that allows you to have this money grow tax-free. Let's look at an example. At the time you're 18, if you have $400 a month to invest into the TFSA, assuming a 7% annual rate of return on average, you would have, by the time you're 60, $1.2 million. Now, if you wanted to max out your TFSA, which right now is $6,000 per year, if you had $6,000 a year invested again at 7% annually, you would have about $2.1 million by the time you're 60 years old. The other nice thing about the tax-free savings account is that you can withdraw this money out of your TFSA at any time without penalty, and you're also able to recontribute that money back into your TFSA in the next year. So let's say you need some money now, you're able to take that money out without consequence, and then you're also able to get that contribution space back in the next year, so you can kind of top up your TFSA again and continue to invest. Now, the important thing to do is to start this as soon as possible. So once you're finished watching this video, I suggest that you open one up now. It doesn't take that long to do. But let's say you're 18 and you invested just $1,000 over the course of time until you're 60 years old. Again, assuming 7% interest, you would have $16,000 by the time you're 60. Now let's assume that you waited an extra year and you started at 19 and you put that $1,000 into a TFSA with the same interest rate. You would have just under $15,000 at the end of that time, which means that you've lost out on doubling your investment by waiting an extra year. So it's important to start investing as soon as you can to really harness the power of compound interest. Now, another way to show how important compound interest is again, assuming a 7% interest rate. If you had $100 and you invested it at 7%, the next year you would have $107. Now, the next year, instead of earning 7% on that $100, you would earn 7% on $107. So the interest income that you're going to receive is going to be greater than the first year because you have more of a principal that you're earning interest on. And so doing that year over year, your pile of money that you're earning interest on continues to grow and grow, which means the percentage or the amount of money you're going to go based on the percentage is going to be a lot higher. So the quicker you start earning compound interest, the better off you'll be. Another reason why you want to start investing now, especially when you turn 18, is because, again, you're dealing with after-tax money. Now, when you're younger and you're working, chances are you're not making as much money as you might be when you're, in your 40s or 50s or 60s. So you're in a lower tax bracket than you might be at a later time. This means that you have more money and less taxes to deal with that you can actually invest into your TFSA. So the value of this money is a little bit more, and you have a little bit more wiggle room now than you might have, say, when you're 40 years old and making more money and in a higher tax bracket, because you're paying right now less taxes, so you're able to put that money in and get a better deal out of this whole thing. Okay, now setting up a TFSA. It's actually quite easy, and you can do this pretty much all online if you want to, or you can go into a bank or some sort of institution and get one set up. But once you're 18 and you want to set up a TFSA and you want to invest, you want to look at some sort of broker. And a broker in Canada here can be like one of the banks. You can go in and get a TFSA set up there and start investing in whatever you want it to do. Or you can look at other online brokers such as Wealthsimple or Questrade. Those would be three great examples or great places to start. And once you kind of choose which brokerage you want to start investing and open up your TFSA with, it only takes 10 to 20 minutes to actually get that started and to get your investment set up. So once you finish watching this video, I encourage you to check out which broker might be best for you and start investing. Now, at a later time, I'm going to be creating a video comparing different brokerage accounts within Canada, so stay tuned for that for more information. For what you want to invest within the TFSA account, I recommend investing in some large index funds that just follow the stock market. In all the examples we've used a 7% annual average rate of return, and that's because if you follow the history of the stock market, we do see an annual average rate of return of 7% with dividends reinvested, adjusted for inflation. So if you continue to follow the stock market, you should continue to have an average of around 7%. Now again, I want to stress that this is an average. Some years you might lose money, some years the rate of return might be a lot higher. Just over the course of time, it's going to even out to about 7%. And a couple index funds that are worth looking at that do just that. One of them is VT-SAX and the other one is VFIX. And these are index funds, again, that just follow the market. If you open up your TFSA account and just start investing in this, set it and forget it, and you'll be just fine when you're 30, 40 years down the road. Another way to do things is to set up automated contributions into your TFSA, so you don't even have to think about it. You can do it on a monthly basis, a weekly basis, a yearly basis, just something where you're continually investing and hopefully able to max out your contribution space. That way you maximize your rate of return. Again, the TFSA, the current maximum contribution space is $6,000 per year, but that limit is cumulative. So let's say you have only $3,000 to invest this year. Your next year's contribution limit will be a new $6,000 plus the $3,000 from last year in which you didn't fully use. So you'll have more space to contribute once you have that money available to you. Now, the best way to figure out how much contribution space you have, because the limit is cumulative, is to check online on your CRA account or give the CRA a call just to make sure, because there are substantial penalties if you contribute more than you're allowed to. So we looked at investing in a couple quality index funds, but you can also, if you'd like, invest in stocks. And I think in this type of account that dividend stocks are the best way to go, because dividends that you earn within this account are also tax-free. So you'll get the potential capital gain appreciation plus the current dividends that you're earning are also tax-free. So I'm making videos on a regular basis regarding good quality stocks to watch, especially dividend stocks, and I'll link a few here. But those might be some options as well if you feel like you want to be a little bit more involved in your investing. Now, a disclaimer, I believe that individual stocks are a lot more risky than an index fund, but it all depends on your appetite for risk and reward. So to wrap this up, I just again want to go over the rules of a tax-free savings account. Hopefully this all made sense to you and you're encouraged to start investing in your TFSA right now. But again, the current contribution limit is $6,000, but you want to check what your own personal contribution limit is, because $6,000 is just for this current year, 2020. There is also an age limit. So you have to be at least 18 years of age or older to start a TFSA. And you have to be a tax resident of Canada in order to invest in a TFSA. If you're here in Canada as a non-resident, you will not be able to open up a TFSA and take advantage of this account. It's for Canadian residents only. So if you follow those 3 simple rules and you fit within the eligibility of a TFSA, I encourage you right now, right after you like and subscribe to my channel, to open up a TFSA, find a broker that fits well for you, and just start investing, and your future self will definitely thank you. I guarantee it. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.